All right, guys, read scene again. So,
Here we go.
we've got some good attendees on this session because I'm sure everybody's excited to talk about the Mark V. And without further ado, we know that we'd all much rather be having this conversation across the gun counter or at the gun fair across the table. We had the long range all set up for you guys to introduce that new Mark V and all the permutations thereof, but we're going to make the best of it. So, Raleigh, Luke, give us a little background. The handsome bearded gentleman with the wooded background. Tell us a little bit about your roles at Weatherby and how things are going at Weatherby these days. Start with that.
He called us handsome.
That's a thanks, Adam.
First today. Hey guys, I'm Luke Torkelson. I'm the Vice President of Sales, Marketing, and Product Development here at Weatherby, and just been here about, I actually just eclipsed my 2-year anniversary last week. I was one of the first ones hired as part of our move to Wyoming. So, and it's been awesome.
I'm Raleigh Whalen. I'm the National Sales Manager. I've been with Weatherby almost 2 years in June. I'm a Wyoming native and so blessed to be a part of Weatherby moving to Wyoming. I mean, what better place? I'm looking out over some beautiful weather and wide open fields. Can't wait till hunting season out there. But yeah, it's just, I was so fortunate to become an employee of Weatherby and just the dream come true.
Right on. Well, you guys have been great to work with. It's been quite a ride for the last couple of years working together. I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce Jeff Anderson, another screen on your Zoom session here. Jeff, just introduce yourself real quick and the connection to Weatherby and us.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Jeff Anderson, territory rep for Weatherby, based in Minnesota. Been doing repping for Weatherby for 23 years. I've been going to the Rice Creek event since its existence. So I missed that, and but we're plowing forward and planning for 2021, and it'll where we left off, we'll continue with it. So good to be part of the live Zoom show here, and looking forward to Luke and Raleigh are fantastic with their jobs and what they brought to the table with Weatherby. So it's been exciting of all the new changes, not only moving to Wyoming, but all the new products specifically on the rifle end. They've done such a great job bringing to the market. So.
Well, you can feel it. Agree, Jeff. Thank you. You can feel the enthusiasm when you're, doesn't matter who you're talking to at the plant or just seeing the product come out and some of the marketing, and certainly Adam and the team at Weatherby have got a great thing going. Luke, Raleigh, fill us in a little bit about, this session about Mark V. Obviously, we appreciate some of the early feedback we were able to provide and see and play with right away, but give us a little bit of background on the Mark V and how it came to be. I'm going to say it, the new Mark V, how it came to be. Before, I know Aaron's chomping a bit to get into the details, and so are you guys, but give us a little bit of background on this, because I think we all need to understand and appreciate what's going on in the context of the, call it performance rifle, long-range rifle market, how this fit in and some of the thought process behind it, because obviously it had to be well crafted. The response has been great, but tell us about how that came to be, and then maybe walk that into how it's fitting into the marketplace versus the competition, and then you guys drill down and rock it. Good. Cool.
Yeah, that is a 30-minute question. Just
all right.
Yeah.
But we'll do our best.
We wasted so much time telling each other how handsome we are.
I'll try to be as efficient in talking as possible, but I'll accidentally leave out some details in doing that. But really, this move to Wyoming has been a huge reset button for everybody. And really, that's the ethos of the whole thing, is the easiest way to put it. I don't think it's unfair to say that we were in danger of becoming your grandfather's hunting rifle. Even just a couple years ago, maybe even the beginning of last year, we had not kept up so great with some of the features. So what we did is we made a blank slate. What do we have on the Mark V line that works? And that is the 54-degree bolt lift, shortest in the whole industry. It's awesome. The 9-lug Magnum action is the strongest, toughest action out there, period. I mean, it'll handle 460 Weatherby, no problem. But where we had not had good success on is some of these new cartridges like 6.5 PRC. That's a short but relatively fat cartridge that's really picked up. So years ago when Roy designed the 240 Weatherby, we designed the little brother to the 9-lug action, which is the 6-lug, or what we call our standard action. And by Remington 700 terms, it's still technically a long action, but it's got a very skinny throat. And so we're like, man, this is our best kept secret. Just in metalwork, the action alone, it's a pound lighter. So we put a lot of effort into building that heavier into the rifle line. So just from a high level view, a year ago, about 20% of our sales were coming from that 6-lug action and about 80 from the 9-lug. Yep. Today, it's closer to 50-50. We, at the same time, I'll have to get into it in a minute, we developed a new cartridge for that action, the 6.5 Weatherby RPM. But what we did in addition to kind of going back to the drawing board on the overall feature set was, let's look at the stocks. Historically, Mark V had only ever had a Monte Carlo stock, period. When I look behind you there, Aaron, there's one Monte Carlo stock on that shelf, the one in the middle. Everything else is all new. So we were like, hey, where are we missing the boat?
If anybody doesn't know what that is out there, that's the raised cheek right here.
Yeah, that little swell. And if you can't see it in that side, but the other side, the stock extends out. So we set out, Adam Weatherby is a passionate backcountry hunter. He wanted to, we've always been known for being the fastest, never been known for being the lightest, and he wanted to fix that. So we set out to make one of the lightest and fastest production rifles out there. That's the Backcountry Titanium 6.5 RPM, shooting 140 grain bullet, 3,100 feet per second. It's cruising in basically a really compact package. So you're 4.9 pounds or so in the titanium action. Back up just a hair to the overall feature set. Every Mark V now has a Trigger Tech trigger, really, really light, crisp, single stage trigger. Every non-wood stock gun now has a spiral fluted bolt. That was a first, had never done that before on a Mark V rifle. Typically it's just an inline flutes here. We added a bunch of Cerakote and several new stocks. So Aaron, your hand is down there by that Carbon Mark Pro.
Yep, that's the Pro.
That's a AG composite stock, so it's a carbon fiber stock, and it's we're not your hardcore tactical guys, but that stock is a really nice blend of bench shooting and a hunting stock. It's actually much lighter than it looks, and that actually is my personal favorite gun in the line. I used it a lot last season. And then at the top of your rack there is really kind of the flagship of the line. You've got the Backcountry Steel. So that's got a steel receiver. MSRP is $24.99. You guys have a crazy.
We got a spoken deal on this one.
Yeah.
I think you're beating our employee price. I need to come to the
2070 for this Rice Creek week, which is a great deal on that. So that's also an AG composite stock. It's probably the lightest stock on the market. And then move it to your to the side so we can see the butt pad just for a second. I got to talk about that. So
I do have PI in my hand.
There. That's the first ever 3D printed rifle butt pad or recoil pad, I guess would be the more PC way to say it. But we designed into that a shape that could not be made with typical rubber or polymer injection molding. So we're production 3D printing these, and essentially what it does is it allows us to make a much lighter pad and control the recoil in a way that it just completely changes the recoil signature from a hit to more of a push. So we just injected a lot of effort, thought, and technology into this whole new Mark V line from the top down. And the peek behind the curtain is it really all started with this gun that Raleigh's holding, which is the Backcountry TI. We wanted to make the lightest and fastest, and then
titanium receiver.
Once we got through through our head of, and maybe we can do not a Monte Carlo stock, which some hardcore Weatherby fans might think is sacrilegious, but man, since the launch of these back in September, they have really done phenomenally well for us as a company. Aaron, I think you guys got you were probably actually the very first dealer, possibly the first customer to see the whole line. We were in Minnesota for visiting some riders and stuff, and we gave you guys a sneak peek of a look back in last June, I believe it was.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah, you kind of screwed that up. I mean, if you're coming, you want to come more towards August so we can get you on a muskie.
I'm in for that.
But we did appreciate the trip, and the whole lineup for any Weatherby fan. This is a quantum leap, and I really need. This was I was hoping to get. I had piles of shooters coming to Rice Creek specifically to play with the one that's got my eye, and that's the Pro.
Yeah.
Get some shots down range with that. So we'll make up for that next year, I promise. I know in the Mark V series, Carbon Mark Pro, Carbon Mark Elite. You want to touch on the 1, 2, 3s on that real quick for some of the folks out there looking at the lineup, maybe just getting a little bogged down in it. It's a pretty simple lineup, but information's good.
Yeah, so we could probably actually talk about the AccuMark and Carbon Mark, AccuMark Pro, Carbon Mark Pro, AccuMark Elite, Carbon Mark Elite. The step ups and really the color pattern is the same all the way through. So at the base level, you get, so the base level being the regular Carbon Mark or the regular AccuMark, you get a curved face, TriggerTech trigger, spiral fluted bolt. On the AccuMark, or I'm sorry, the Carbon Mark there, you get the BSF carbon barrel. On the AccuMark, it's a number 3 steel barrel. That's kind of the starting standpoint in those families. Then you step up to the Pro. That's when you go to that kind of practical, tactical hunting stock from AG Composite. It's really lightweight carbon fiber stock. That's the main part of the jump there. It's just a difference in stock. Then when you go to the Elite, you get a extended spiral bolt knob, the flat face TriggerTech trigger, Elite Series Cerakote, and then
Flat trigger.
On the stock itself, it's adjustable cheek height adjustability. So the Elites also have some artwork done on the floor plate that looks really good. So minor step ups, and then there's kind of a step up in price each step of the way. So all of them are going to include a brake standard, ready to roll, and any Mark V that has a brake will ship and comes with a thread cap. And real funny story. We've actually had a couple customer service calls on the AccuMarks. Those are the Carbon Marks, but we match every brake to the barrel. And so somebody opened a box that had the thread cap on it, and they called our customer service and were like, y'all forgot to thread my barrel. We're like, that's not possible. It's gotta be. And the line between the thread cap and the barrel was like not even visible. And so we're like, hey, just grab the end and unscrew. And they're like, oh my gosh, feels so silly.
You'll notice the machining on all of them is almost exactly the same. It is very difficult to see that line. The amount of time you guys put into this is amazing. I'm excited to get more hunters working with these and maybe work with one myself.
Here's one.
Great example. You got to squint to see the line for us. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So if we ignore the platforms, guys, in the AccuMark or the Carbon Marks, there's the standard.
Monte Carlo stock, yep.
Monte Carlo stock. When you go to Pro, you get into that what would look like a target stock, but when you pick it up, you're going to clearly be happy with it in the field, regardless. Most shooters will know this gun is going to track. It has to track straighter, shrinking your learning curve to shoot farther. I'm excited to get some time behind that. And then the boys on the Weatherby end have the Elite.
Both the Pro and the Elite do have dual front swivel studs. So if you want to throw a bipod on there, it's ready to roll.
Yep. Fantastic.
I hunted on horseback quite a bit, and when I first saw these Pro and Elite stocks, I thought, I don't know. I think that might be a little too catchy on stuff, when you have it riding in a scabbard, but it's actually not bulky at all. It's really enjoyable to hunt with. So I think it's great stock.
Absolutely.
I know one thing I've been fired up about, being kind of a 6.5 nut myself, is your guys' introduction of that RPM 6.5. I'm pretty excited to start playing with that a little bit. I've got a number of 6.5s at home, but that one's really got my attention. You want to tell some of the shooters how that came about, why it came about?
Yeah, so we really started backwards, and like I started at the beginning, I don't know if people have joined, but we've always had this underutilized 6-lug standard Mark V action that's really lightweight. It's pretty darn small on a footprint standpoint, and so we set out and designed this cartridge around that action. So RPM is rebated precision Magnum. It's our 15th Weatherby cartridge. It's the first non-Venturi, non-belted cartridge that we've ever done. And some of the big Weatherby fans know that we typically have a little bit of jump from bullet to lands and grooves. RPM is not that way. It is almost touching lands and grooves from the get-go. So one of the cool things about this cartridge design is the maximum overall length of the cartridge is basically exactly what will fit in the mag box. So by that, we're able to control and basically be touching lands and grooves on every bullet. So currently there's a 140 grain interlock, there's a Barnes 127 LRX, and then there's a 110 grain AccuBond. We're going to be launching another heavier hunting bullet right before fall, hopefully. And we've seen phenomenal results out of that so far. We can just give it away here on this call, see what happens, but it's a 156 grain hunting bullet that will be the heaviest production 6.5. We'll do that in the 6.5 RPM and the 6.5 300, and we're seeing just phenomenal results with that projectile. So
you know as much as I do. I just found this out too.
I was biting my lip thinking he wasn't going to tell us, and I'd have to wait. You have my attention, sir. I push him to get that out by August, man.
What we're trying for. So
my elk hunters will know they have tags by mid-July, and I'd love to get that in some hands of some guys going your direction, heading west, and put some on the ground.
Yeah. So really, the whole line is this kind of mild to wild line where we still have the traditional Mark V Deluxe with the ultra high gloss bluing. At the opening price point, you got the Weathermark that's around $1,500, and then at the high end, you've got the Backcountry TI for MSRP is $3,350. I think you guys have a smoking deal on that right now.
We do.
$2,879, which is
that's the lowest in the country.
I've not seen it that good anywhere. So
I did a quick look. I've got 3 calibers left and about a total of 9 rifles left at those prices. So they've been going on the phone about as fast as we can box them up. So anybody wanting to get after that, find out what calibers I got, give us a call. I'll run through the caliber list with you and certainly get you that deal and get that rifle in the mail to the dealer close to you as fast as I possibly can.
I don't like to admit my mistakes that often, but I am responsible for forecasting, and I definitely messed up the Backcountry TI. It has just skyrocketed. We have been chasing production on this thing since it launched, and we're about 90 to 120 days out on new orders on those right now. So the fact that you even have them in stock is awesome, and I don't think you'll have them long.
I wouldn't think so either. So if anybody's after one of those and I don't have it in stock, we've got to get your order in pretty much tomorrow.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to build this in 338.06 again, or no? I'm messing with you. 16 gauge question.
One of the things I wanted to say about that 3D Hex recoil pad on the back, I couldn't believe it. I was a little scared to shoot this gun. It's 5.3 pounds in the 9-lug on the titanium. In a 300 Weatherby, I kid you not, I was fearful for my shoulder, but it really feels like a 243. That's coming
so
from
tame.
me. It's
so tame.
You won't believe it the first time you shoot it in a.
I may or may not have a local guy that pays me to shoot his. Remember the original ultralights?
Yeah.
Where they went to the tan stock, the gray one.
Yep.
He's got that in 300 Weatherby, and he pays me dearly to sight it in every year.
Yeah, right.
If he doesn't want to shoot, and it shoots clover leaves, all 3 shot touching if you're doing your job. Yeah. So I'll be excited to try that new pad if you say that's all it is. That's exciting.
Yeah, very minimal.
Yeah. Aaron, I know you're joking about the 338-06, and we're not doing that one, but we did with this whole new line. There are some new chamberings, like we're doing a 280 Ackley improved.
Fantastic.
We got a 6 mil Creedmoor as well as 6.5 Creedmoor. Yep. The whole gamut of the Weatherby cartridges. So a lot more cartridge offerings than we have had in the past in the Mark V line.
Yeah, the 280 Ackley is really popular in sheep hunters and the like. So that one's been a good one for us as well.
You guys see releasing any 280 AI ammo in the future to run along with that, or no plans on that?
We not yet. We've toyed with doing some non-Weatherby ammo, or non-Weatherby cartridge ammo loading, I should say. No official plans on that yet, but it's something we definitely think about a lot.
Fantastic. Well, I know I've got some other offerings here, so we won't be short on ammo when you release some rifles. I'll take a few when they're ready. We should hit it. I got to keep a list. There's been so many Rice Creek deals. I'm going to run through them again. The Backcountry right now that I've got in Creedmoor is in stock, $20.69. That is that price shipped to your dealer, no additional fees. We touched on a TI at $28.79. I have very few left, so we'll jump on that. Those guys mentioned they're 120 days out on those because of the popularity. Pro tungstens I do have in stock at $20.69.49. Again, that's all the fees right to your dealer. And I have just a few of the pros left. I should have grabbed more colors, but I've got tungstens and then I've got the standard black ones as well in back. And those are going to run $24.29 shipped to the dealer. So we definitely get those out. Give us a call to get those deals. Hey Jeff, you still are you sleeping? Are you still there? Oh, he's still
there. I'm here. Yes, sir.
Hey, what I feel like we went kind of fast on what could be the greatest lineup Weatherby's ever had. What did I miss, man?
Well, I think you know the focus on the Mark V being all brand new. I mean, Luke did a great job going through all the new things have changed. You know, with just the Mark V, you hit it earlier. I chuckle going back because I remember when the ultra lightweight came out probably about 20 years ago, and someone just the reaction that customers get. I know you can show it on a video, but the reaction that you get when you are handed a Backcountry TI is always wow. I mean, the ultra lightweight was 5 3/4 pound on a lightweight action before, and now I believe it's you know
4.9.
mid 4 pound, well under 5 pounds. You know, getting a production gun, you know, at a good cost. The guys did a great job with that. So the carbon mark, what carbon fiber rifles are going strong now. And we're a good part of that now. We have a great lineup, good calibers. The RPM will continue to, I think once people realize the effectiveness, and then having such a lightweight cartridge with the performance, that'll catch on. And you know, we're looking forward to selling more of them too. Unfortunately, we had one all geared up for Rice Creek shoot, so all the guys could. We like to have a couple representations of Mark V's and a couple of the Vanguard line. 257 and 300 Weatherby have always been real strong sellers for us, but once we get out and shoot the RPM, it just makes a difference. And when you're paying that kind of dollars for it, it's a fun gun to shoot, and it's going to be popular well into fall here. So we just have to get more on the shelf and available, which will happen, and it's exciting.
I've thought of a couple things while Jeff was talking. We've got a couple more rifles here to show you. Our Weathermark line has been around for a long time. We spiffed it up as well this year. This is the Weathermark Bronze. It's a burnt bronze Cerakote spiral bolt, graphite black bolt, which really sets it off. And it has this black fiberglass stock with burnt bronze spray on it, and it's just really pretty. Not a lot of glare on it. It just sets it off well. And it also has a TriggerTech trigger. And then
Jeff, you mentioned the ultra lightweight. This is effectively the old ultra lightweight. It's the Weathermark LT, Monte Carlo fiberglass stock, same trigger tech trigger, spiral fluted bolt, fluted barrel, includes a brake, and for a lightweight rifle, these are going to be sub $2,000, which is a great price on the Weatherby, and so at Reed's at the prices you guys have been throwing out there today, that'd be substantially less, I'm sure. So one thing I also thought about, Raleigh, while Jeff was talking, and we've got to mention that when we redid this whole Mark V line, we didn't just do the guns themselves. We revisited our ammo pricing, and part of our move to Wyoming, as well as some other things that have been in play in the background, but we effectively reduced Weatherby ammo cartridge pricing 30 to 35% across the board, which really makes it in line with your other Ultramag cartridges. And we're within $5 a box, where before we were probably, $30 extra per box. So
yeah,
the stuff that was, people are used to being $100 a box is now 70 or less. So,
Right. That was a small deterrent for a while as we moved into that and fought with the short mag calibers. I know that leads me to the next question that's going to come up. Us being in the Midwest, we shoot, we shoot deer and deer. So in your Mark V lineup, for all the boys going out west, if you guys had to throw your top 4 Weatherby calibers at me, and for all the listeners out there that are eyeballing the configurations, what would those be?
We get some version of that question a lot, and
yeah.
the top all-round Weatherby cartridge would be 300 Weatherby.
Yep.
Do-all, great, tons of bullet options across the board. It's got it all. After that, it's probably a tie for second place with 6.5 300 and 257 Weatherby. Those do great. We were talking to a guy that shot 7 bears so far this year with 257 Weatherby, which blew me away with 110 AccuBond. Just awesome. Fourth, really, since we've launched it, the 6.5 RPM has done phenomenally well.
Yeah.
So I throw it out there. So especially if you're heading west, I like a bigger bullet for elk or larger game, but for anything antelope, deer, mule deer, and it's more than capable. Tons of people shoot elk with a 6.5 Creedmoor, so 6.5 RPM is got plenty of gusto for it.
People will shoot an elk with a 243, but I don't recommend it. You'd be safer using our 240 Weatherby.
Yep, for sure. I know with this kind of investment, most shooters are going to want to do all.
Yeah, the 240 is probably our most underappreciated caliber. I got my whitetail with that a couple of years ago, and it's lightning fast, super flexible. You can shoot mule deer.
It's a laser beam.
Whitetail with it. Yeah, it's essentially the fastest 6mm. Period. Yeah, and it's been around a long time. That's one of my favorites. But now that 6.5 RPM's coming out, it's really fun to shoot, and it's swaying me a little bit.
Yeah, that one's a really versatile cartridge.
257, super versatile. You can shoot elk with 257, and yeah.
Yep. Well, perfect. That should cover it. I know at this level of investment, most of my shooters are going to want a do-it-all cartridge. And Weatherby probably has the most do-it-all options out there.
Yeah, but if I had to pick one, it's 300 Weatherby. I mean, there's not anything in North America you couldn't shoot with that. If you wanted to go a little bit more than 300 Weatherby, it's the 3378 Weatherby, but ammo prices do jump a hair for some more benefit, but you might extend your maximum range 200 yards just looking at the energy tables, but yeah.
Perfect.
For my mule deer this year, I used the Backcountry Steel version in 6.5 RPM, and it performed phenomenally well. It was one shot and down on the buck, and I hiked in about 6 miles, and it was a lot of fun to hunt with this gun. You don't even need a sling for it, so can't beat it.
Cool.
You
Thanks,
guys are a wealth of knowledge. To be able to sit here and just have a conversation and be able to just chat through it like this is simply fantastic. So, you know, what's kind of nice about these sessions too, and albeit we're having to do it virtual and always in person is best, is, you know, a lot of this is there's such good material inside of it. We're covering a lot of ground fast. You know, we're going to clip some of this up and upload it to our YouTube channel and be able to use it for reference for later as well. So we'll make sure we circulate this around. What's the title on the YouTube channel that Weatherby's kind of featuring all your content on these days, guys?
It's just search for Weatherby Inc. All of our content's there. We've got some kind of subfolders under that for our podcast, for our product videos, but search for Weatherby Inc. Please follow and subscribe there. That way you get an alert for when we upload new videos, which happens pretty frequently. So we've been trying to really hit the digital era as much as we can. So
there's some good videos on there, anywhere from cleaning a rifle, breaking in a rifle, which there aren't a lot of great videos out there on how to properly break in a rifle. And there's also Weatherby history lessons by Dean Rumbaugh, who worked with Weatherby for 57 years until we moved to Wyoming. And just the wealth of knowledge that he has about the company was second to none. He started when he was 18 working for Roy Weatherby, and he didn't make it to Wyoming, but unfortunately for the grand opening, we were able to get him in the podcast room and record an actual interview with him.
that's my favorite podcast.
You got to check that out now.
Yeah, fun. You know, it was kind of unique. You know, both businesses involved here, Reed's and Weatherby family businesses. You know, yeah. with a rich heritage in history. So, man, guys, we appreciate you taking the time, and you know, it's fun to be able to catch up on this. But again, like you say, Luke, we're in a digital age now, so we'll just keep sorting through it. One thing I know, again, you guys covered a lot of information fast. If anybody has any questions on anything, just call us. That's the best way to do it. You know, and also we lock in these Rice Creek deals before the week is up.
The only way to get them is on the phone, guys.
Yep, and end of the month. So end of April here, we'll be locking everything up. So there's a little bit of time left, and we sure appreciate you taking time. Jeff, thank you. Luke, Raleigh, you guys be safe out there. We appreciate everything, and take care. God bless.
Thanks, boys.
See ya.
See ya.